Let's go to Joe Person for the first question to start us off.
Christian, good to see you. It's been a while. Just wanted to see this deal this year with you. I mean, how do you kind of process all this? You get healthy, and then the shoulder. I mean, and coming off of the extension. Just sort of, would you kind of sum up how you've processed all this throughout the year?
Christian, before you get started, you got to unmute your mic there real quick. Cool.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I think when you go through life or a football season in general, I think the best thing you can do is just take everything day by day, and that's really what I'm doing. I want to play this game for as long as I possibly can, and sometimes injuries are a part of the game. Rarely do you see someone go their whole career without missing a game. Obviously, that would have been great, but it's obviously tough. You never want to miss games, but at the same time, we have 4 games left, and I feel really good now. So the biggest thing for me is to mentally stay in it, to physically stay in the best possible shape as I can, so that when I am ready to go, I can produce, and I think that's the most important thing. So really, it's it is what it is. When you get hurt or something bad happens, you just gotta approach it day by day and take it one step at a time. Work as hard as you can to get back so that you can get back on the field.
And just for the record, do you think you're back this week and will play this week?
I feel great. I feel really great.
Let's go to Elena Getzenberg for the next question.
Hey, Christian, good to see you. I guess just can you take us through that shoulder injury and how frustrating was it to come back for one game and then be out again?
Yeah, it's really frustrating. You work so hard for so long to come back, and then something separate happens, and that's just the nature of the game. I've never missed a game in my life up until this year, and I think the best thing that's come out of it, though, is I've learned a lot about the game, learned a lot about myself, and I've been able to, kind of experience that adversity of watching from the side and, learn from it. And I think that's kind of how I've approached it. And, once again, I've just been working hard to get back on the field.
And then knowing you want to be out there and you want to play, would you ever consider, not playing these last 4 games? Would that thought ever enter your mind? Had those conversations?
No, never.
Let's go to Scott Fowler and then David Newton for the next 2 questions.
Christian, just one little thing before I ask my actual question, but do you mean you have never missed a game ever in high school, little league,
well, I missed 1 game my whole life up until this year at Stanford. That was it. So.
Wow. Okay. And so my question is really more about this week's opponent, but given your family history, I wondered if you could talk a little bit about the Broncos, what they mean to you and to your family. And is that ironic that that's who you come back against?
Yeah, I think, obviously there's a lot of family history there. And, I remember going to the Broncos games as a kid and watching my dad and growing up in the locker room and just kind of being attached to that team for a while. And, obviously my parents still keep in touch with the Shanahans and still have a lot of buddies. I know my dad has a lot of friends that still keeps in contact with. But for me, obviously there, like I said, there is a lot of family history, but it's just another week for me. So I'm just going to approach it like I do any other team and go about my process and then do our best to try to win.
Hey, Christian, glad to see you back here. You mentioned about what you learned about the game and about yourself. What specifically you feel like you learned that'll help you moving forward?
Well, I think it just, I don't think I ever had an issue, with loving football. I've always loved it. It's what makes me happy. But, they always say you don't know what you have till it's gone. And when something gets taken from you that you love to do so much, it can be challenging and frustrating mentally, emotionally, and physically. So for me to go through that, in a way, just continues to spark a fire in you and understanding how much I do love this game and how, taking pride in doing everything possible to, stay in the game to play, but it definitely makes you appreciate the game a lot more.
And a lot's happened. I think it's been September since the last time we got to talk to you. So you bought a house, I think, and a lot of different things. What of all the things that's happened in that 3 months or whatever really stands out the most to you?
Well, it's been a lot of work. For me, I've really, the days are actually longer when you're not playing than when you are playing. I think from the time you get up till the time you go to bed, I'm doing something to try to get, my ankle back and then my shoulder back, and to try to stay fast, stay in shape, stay strong, and do all those things. It's a challenging process that can be taxing, but I learned to fall in love with that and to love it, and to enjoy just the concept of getting better. So that was really what my life was. Obviously a couple things happened off the field, but for me, that's been the last, however long it's been, every day. So I cannot wait till I can just get through a week of practice and get back on my feet again and play football and with these guys. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Let's go to Jonathan Alexander for the next question, followed by Josh Klein.
Hey, Christian, I hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
I'm wondering, no problem. Yeah, while you've been out, I'm wondering what's been your assessment of the season and how things have gone for you all as a team.
Well, it's been like I said, man, there's been ups and downs and ebbs and flows, and that's what happens in football. There's one team that wins the Super Bowl, and that's the team that wins every year. So for us, it's been just a week to week deal. I think I love our team mindset. I think Coach Rule does an excellent job of getting guys to understand the importance of just going 1-0 each week. And you watch the fight that we have, and there's not a question. I don't know how many games we've lost by a touchdown or less, and coming down to the wire, and every game coming down to the wire. And there's never excuses, but I think that's the thing that when we figure out, it's gonna be a lot of fun. How to finish those games, how to, and for me, it's tough to say. I've been on the sideline, so I don't like judging when I'm not even in the game. But from the outside looking in, I think we have an unbelievably tough team, and I said that the first time, the last time I talked to you guys. We have an unbelievably tough team. A team that's never going to give up, and a team that honestly, I even just from being on the sidelines, I love watching, because, no matter what's going on in the game, they stay poised. I think it's just a matter of figuring out how to win and how to be a, true winner. And I think that's the next step.
In seeing some of those close losses, did you ever think like, damn, I could have helped in that situation or anything like that?
Yeah, I always think I can help. That's just the mindset I have. And I think that is part of the frustration, is you do think you can help. But, once again, your best ability is your availability. And if I'm not available, there's definitely other ways I can, benefit the team and by leading or talking to some guys or going over some plays. But, obviously I want to be on the field, and, watching games, especially when you lose, are tough, because, you start to relive all the moments that you think you could have done something or what the deal is, but it is what it is. That's part of the game.
Christian, I know a lot of the focus is on football, but you launched the Christian McCaffrey Foundation. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that and tell us kind of where that sparked from and how much it means to you to be able to give back.
Yeah, that's it's been something that, I've kind of been in the works since I got in the league, and figuring out, exactly what I want my foundation to be about. And philanthropy's always been something that's important to me, giving back. And, just being in Charlotte and being able to communicate with so many military personnel, and, having mentors and people that I look up to who have fought and served for our country. I kind of picked that, and there's really a broad spectrum of what I want to go into as far as that, and with the foundation. But I just knew that was something that I really wanted to dive into. And I think the Salute to Service month was a good time to do it this year. We kind of had all the ducks in a row, and now I'm just really excited to move forward with it and see all the fun things that we can do and all the ways we can help.
All right, let's go to Joe Person and then Steve Reed.
Hey, Christian, thanks again. Wanted to know if you're coming back in this weird COVID world now where you guys have a bunch of guys on the list. Is that just sort of par for the course for 2020? And how do you react?
Yeah, I hope it's par for the course just for 2020. I think all of us hope that that's, it would be amazing if, January 1st, it all just went away. But I think that's really what we've all learned in this whole year. I mean, the fact that we're doing this over a phone is just something that we've had to learn, that you got to be able to adapt, and you can't make excuses, and you just got to adapt and continue to move on and do the best you can with what you have. So that's football with injuries that come along. Now you have COVID. So, obviously we wish everyone on our team is healthy and can play, but we got to do it what we can with what we have.
What was your reaction a couple of weeks ago when the Broncos had to, play a practice squad receiver?
Yeah, that was mind blowing. I've never seen that. I thought that at least give them, a couple more days and wait till the quarterbacks, got healthy again. But once again, it is what it is. I think, I don't know. That's kind of all I have to say about that.
Hey, Christian, good to see you back. Just curious, this shoulder problem, is this going to be anything that needs any type of surgery after the season, or is it just kind of you needed to rest it and it's fine? And then secondly, I was just hoping you could kind of go into a little more of your memories of growing up, with your dad and being around the Broncos and winning Super Bowls and all that.
Yeah. So one, I feel great. My shoulder feels great. I don't like jinxing anything. So for the next 4 games, I'm hoping that they all go great and I'm healthy and feel great. And just growing up with my dad playing for the Broncos and everything, I think that was kind of when I started to see what football meant to me, just watching him and being able to run around on the field after the game and seeing them win 2 Super Bowls. Even when I was 2 or 3 years old, I know my dad loved football, and watching highlights of him is very special to me and the rest of our family, just seeing how he played. And I think he definitely did the Broncos organization right. And watching those teams play back in the day, I'd say the same for all those guys. They made it fun to watch. They made it fun growing up as a kid. Every single one of those guys in the locker room were always so nice to myself and my brothers. And, definitely a lot of cool memories. I know a lot's changed, but I remember back in the day when they had old just Mile High Stadium, and they've since tore it down and built a new one, and the sponsor changes. But that was when I was growing up. So those were cool memories.
Let's go to Mike Solarte and then David Newton, and then we'll get a couple questions from Denver media before we wrap it up.
Hey, Christian, glad to see you're feeling better and anxious to play. As you look ahead to Sunday, what do you see from the Broncos? Did you watch them the night game against Kansas City, and what do they show you on film? I'm sure you've been doing film study in preparation for your return. This is the next one. So what do they look like to you? Yeah,
well, I think they're a really good team. They're I think they're very similar to us in a way that they're better than 4-8. They're much better than 4-8. They've played a lot of close games, and I think when you look at the way they play really well together as a defense. They got a stout D line with good edge rushers. They have good backers who play downhill well. Their safeties play well together. They can tackle. They can play the pass, and their corners are good as well. So I think they have a very complete team who plays hard and plays well together. So. I say this every week, but it's always about us, not about them. But they do, have a lot of good players, and it's always going to be a challenge.
It seems like they really stepped things up in the red zone against KC as well, and that's been kind of an issue for you guys. How do you, in terms of what you guys do, how do you counteract that?
Just executing. I think it's being efficient on first and second down, and executing the game plan on third down and continuing to move the sticks, and not play from the 20 to the 20 and just be efficient in the red zone. So I think that's it.
Thank you.
Hey, Christian, I wanted to ask you again about Denver. Watching them play as in going to the Super Bowls and the excellence that they that surrounded them. How did that develop your?
I was so young. I don't know if
Christian, I think we might have lost you. All right, guys, just sit tight. I will check on this, see if we can get him back on.
The reception, you're so far away from Charlotte now, the reception's probably bad up there. So.
no, it just died. I'm an idiot. Forgot to plug it in. But sorry, can you ask that again though?
Well, I got two really. But first one was just you mentioned the Broncos and watching them around the excellence and going to Super Bowls. How did that build your personality as towards football in general?
Yeah, I think I was so young when they were playing, and I remember briefly my dad playing, but I think it instilled so many positive attributes just in my dad, and that he passed down to us. And some of the things that he took a lot of pride in when he was playing. Some of the habits that he instilled because of the guys that he played with, and that's the things that I think I remember just learning from him. So.
And growing up around that, it's been well over a year since you've actually played in the game where you've won. I mean, I think 0-3 this year, last 8 last year. What has that been like for a guy that's so used to winning all the time?
Yeah, it sucks. I think that's basically it. It makes you hungry for a win, though. And I think, once again, you just approach every week now the same as the last and continue to get better so that you can go out and win. But appreciate you reminding me.
Sorry about that. Seemed like a natural.
I'm out to the next question.
Christian, not to belabor the point on growing up in the Broncos locker room, but as you said, you were around a lot of guys who were great players, some Hall of Famers, key contributors to those Broncos Super Bowl teams. I know that Shannon Sharp likes to talk about you and him playing Power Rangers in the locker room, but were there any other players who stick out in your mind in terms of guys you admired, guys who played with you, did anything like that?
Yeah, Rod Smith is a good friend of my dad and my mom. And, obviously growing up and him and my dad being the receivers, still keep in touch a little bit with him today too. So it's just cool to see, different generations go through the NFL, and pretty surreal in a way to be playing against my dad's former team. Kind of, makes things go full circle. But Rod was great. I remember watching Terrell Davis all the time. Howard Griffith was a fullback who I loved watching. I know he played with Steve Atwater, who I've seen, just around certain events. A lot of guys, though, man. I mean, it's just cool. It kind of shows the brotherhood that football has in general. Still guys that my dad played with who I keep in touch with just through the grapevine. So. But a lot of those guys, Mark Schlereth, who's an announcer today, get to talk to him. But I know I'm missing a whole bunch, but really there's a lot of them.
All right, we'll get a couple questions from the Denver media. Let's go to Kyle Newman and then Brandon Kristoff.
Hey, Christian, have you had a chance to talk with your dad at all ahead of the game this Sunday? And then also amidst the adversity and injuries this year, how much have you leaned on your brothers and just kind of that brotherhood to get through that and talk with them about that?
Yeah, I haven't talked to my dad about Denver yet. And as far as my brothers go, they're always there for me. I know they're always there for me. And injury, it sucks, but like I said, you can't feel sorry for yourself. You just got to do everything you can every day to get back as fast as you can and to make sure that when you do come back, you're ready to go. So that's really been my mindset. I don't, there's really no self-pity or anything like that. It's just part of the game, and it's an unfortunate part of the game. So from now on, you just deal with it and move on.
Brandon, I think we'll need you to unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. Christian, I have two for you real quickly. How strange is it with the way NFL schedules work that you're going to go 7 or 8 years, likely 8 years, and not play a game here in Denver when you played 4 times at Empower Field at Mile High in high school? And then my second one is, you played in that stadium, you see the names up there. Your dad's name's highest probably on most people's minds as the next Ring of Famer. How special would that be to see his name up there with all of his former teammates and Broncos legends?
Yeah, that would be amazing. I think it's very well deserved, and I think that would be a really proud moment for him. But that would definitely, you just even hearing you say that is pretty cool. That'd be awesome for our family. And it is crazy. I've played in that stadium, like you said, 4 times, and I've been there a lot. So it'll be I don't know when it'll be, but whenever I do get to play there one day, it'll be once again a pretty surreal moment.
All right, let's go to Mike Kliss for the final question.
Hi there. Yes, first thanks to the Panthers for inviting us. Hi to Joe, Steve, Darren, all my colleagues there. Christian, Colorado-rooted question. Any insight on where Dylan is going to wind up? Will he wind up with Dad at Northern Colorado?
You cut out there for a little bit. Did you ask just one question, or were there 2?
Though I have to, but here's one. Any insight on Dylan with where he's going to transfer? He's going to wind up with Dad at Northern Colorado.
I have no idea. I really have no idea. I think he's got to finish school first before he, does the portal deal and goes through the whole recruiting process again. But, I'm really not 100% sure. I think that would be really cool, though, in my personal opinion, to have, the whole McCaffrey crew together in one place. So I think that'd be awesome.
And then lastly, how often do you get home still? I think I read you were home quite a bit over the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, I've been home every off season since I've been in the league. So that's really, it's where I grew up. It's home for me. And, like you said, being there over COVID with my brothers, with my family was an absolute blast.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. Christian, we appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.